or political Islam that receive funds from Wahhabists are a danger to American security, because the youth in those mosques and the Muslims being taught ideology in that mosque are not being taught about Americanism and the American Western way of life. They are actually being taught to hate secular society and to try to establish an Islamic state. And that is a threat to our security.
There have even been reports of hate speech found in Saudi-funded Muslim schools.
An Islamic school in Northern Virginia is causing some controversy. It comes after a report claiming the textbooks that school uses may be promoting religious intolerance.
An example is from a 12th grade Quranic interpretation that says it's permissible to kill an adulterer or a convert who left the faith.
Recently, a report said that some of the school's textbooks teach violent actions against Christians, Shia Muslims, and Jews.
In the Wahhabi textbooks I've seen, in the West, in particular in America, there are passages calling for holy war. And that is not Afghanistan or Iran. That is Virginia. That is London. That is Toronto. That's what's very disturbing.
Yeah, the oil-producing countries exercise enormous influence, not only on education, but even on policy.
As soon as the oil started to bring in revenues to the Middle East, mainly to Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, they started to contribute to the United States politicians. The Saudis contribute money to people who influence the politics of the United States.
One of the principal means of spreading influence is to endow departments of Middle East studies at very respected universities.
The Saudis have given tens of millions of dollars to American universities.
In the case of Georgetown and Harvard, it was in the amount of $20 million.
And the students who go to these universities are then being taught the Saudi point of view on Islam.
Many of the Saudi-funded courses profess the noble aim of bridging the gap between Islam and Christianity. But this is absurd when one considers that there isn't even one church in all of Saudi Arabia, and that it's an offense for a non-Muslim to even set foot in Mecca, Islam's holiest city.
Petrodollars are invested on campuses, in classrooms. This is where the future diplomats are coming from. Then they become part of government. Then they will continue to apply the principles that they have been receiving by the instructors and professors who are sitting on jihadi grants. This is diplomatic jihad.
Despite all these concerns, our media and politicians will have us believe that Saudi Arabia is both a moderate Muslim country and our ally in the war on terror and radical Islam.
Saudi Arabia is not moderate. There's nothing moderate about Saudi Arabia. Every week people are beheaded. Every week people's hands are cut off.
هل أنت أيضا تنفذ قطع اليد ولا تكتفي بس بقطع الرؤوس؟ هل هناك تخصصات؟
نعم ننفذ قطع اليد بالنسبة للحرام وننفذ قطع الرجل خلف وخلاف كما ذكر في القرآن.
So if you consider that to be moderate, then well, good luck.
And Americans are being told that many of the mainstream Muslim groups are also moderate, when in fact if you look a little closer, you'll see a very different reality. One of their primary tactics is deception. They present themselves as moderate leaders committed to peace and condemning terror.
As Muslims, we want to state clearly
that those who commit acts of terror in the name of Islam are betraying the teachings of the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad.
But when asked about specific terrorist groups, CARE officials are either evasive or outright supportive.
Does CARE have a position on Palestinian Islamic Jihad?
We haven't published one.
Now, don't you think that you don't?
They just lie.
It's about the terrorist organization.
It's not a terrorist organization.
And in 2000, Abdul Rahman al-Amoudi openly supported terrorist groups.
a supporter of Hamas here? Hear that, Bill Clinton? We are all supporters of Hamas. Allahu Akbar. Anybody supports Hezbollah here? Takbir.
But Alamoudi went further than just cheering for these groups. In 2004, he was actually arrested on terror charges. Perhaps what made the Alamoudi case so troubling was that he was considered by many in the media and government to be a moderate Muslim leader. And Alamoudi isn't the only leader who's had a problem with the law. Many so-called moderate Muslim leaders have been convicted on terror-related charges. To be fair, on their website, CARE has condemned Al-Qaeda by name. But why won't they condemn Hamas or Hezbollah?
And you sit here now and in just one sentence tell me CARE condemns Hamas and CARE condemns Hezbollah.
I'm telling you in a very clear fashion, CARE condemns terrorist acts, whoever commits them, wherever they commit them, whenever they commit them.
That's not the same thing as saying you condemn Hamas and you condemn Hezbollah.
Well, I recognize that you don't like my answer to the question.
The FBI uncovered a secret document that seems to answer this and many other questions. This is believed to be the manifesto of the Muslim Brotherhood in North America.
Hamas grew out of the Muslim Brotherhood. Palestinian Islamic Jihad grew out of the Muslim Brotherhood. From the Egyptian Islamic Jihad movement grew the current movement of Al-Qaeda, for instance.
This 15-page manifesto outlines the goals and strategies of the Muslim Brotherhood's activities in North America. On page 7, the document states that their work in America is a kind of a grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within. And then it speaks about setting up groups and mosques and Islamic centers to achieve their ultimate goal, which is to destroy the miserable houses of the West so that they will be expelled and that Allah's religion is made victorious over all other religions. And at the end of the document, it lists the organizations that can help in carrying out these goals. Not only are many of these groups still in existence today, but they are the very groups who are thought to be the modern Muslim leadership of America. These are the groups like the MSA, ISNA, and notably the IEP. And where does CARE fit into all of this? In 1994, CARE was established by 3 of the leaders from the IEP. And it's well documented that the IEP was essentially a front group for Hamas. So perhaps that would explain why CARE won't condemn terror groups like Hamas, and also why they avoided participating in my Muslims Against Terror rally in 2004. In keeping with the goals of the document, many so-called moderate Muslim leaders have been caught on tape calling on America to become a Muslim country.
We have a chance in America to be a moral leadership of America. The problem is when it will happen, and alhamdulillah, I have no doubt in my mind. It depends on me and you. Either we do it now, or we do it after 100 years. But this country will become a Muslim country.
Before Allah closes our eyes for the last time, you will see a example for being the second largest religion in America. That's where we are now. Being the worst religion in America.
Islam is coming to America not through violence. It's coming to America the same way Christianity came to Rome.
You've got Imam Abdul Musa, who is known as an influential speaker in the Muslim community around the world.
Allah says that Islam will rise to its proper position in the world, whether these mushriks, whether these munafiqs, whether these criminals, whether these zalimeen, all of them, whether they get together, still Islam will reign supreme, whether they like it or not.
He's quite open about his goals.
In fact, on our website, we talk about the Islamic State of North America by 2050.
Musa is also an outspoken supporter of Hamas.
Hamas and Hezbollah are good people. They're good people. They don't deserve any condemnation. They deserve congratulations. They're good people.
And also an admirer of Iranian President Ahmadinejad.
Ahmadinejad?